Yo, JD here, and we are back on F1 2018 online here today, just doing some 5-lap races, and had a lot of fun doing this. But as usual, it's going to be probably carnage going to this turn 1. So we're at Spa here, I think, as we were yesterday as well, and we've just been blown up once again. So we're going to take the escape route, and you can see we've already got a penalty from SRO Montoya there. 3 illegal overtakes, and there's just been absolute carnage here, and someone has just flew into outer space, which we're just going to see a little bit of a replay from. And yeah, he's just been literally outcasted out of the solar system then. But the topic of this video, which is more important, is going to be talking about the penalty system on the F1 games and if we think it's fair or not. As you can see, we've got a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting, gaining 3 positions where I couldn't really have gone on the racetrack because I got pushed out. Although I did take the escape road, so I can see maybe a 50-50 in that one, but I still think it's relatively harsh because there's nowhere really to go. If that was in real life, would you have got a penalty? Maybe not, but obviously that's up for debate. And I just want to hear your guys' experiences on the penalty system. You can see we've got the extended track limits there, and I just want to hear what you think of your experiences. What should be improved? If you could design it yourself, how would you actually change it? And do you actually think it's consistent? And I think that's the word we're looking for really, is the penalty system actually consistent? As we're going to go around the outside of this guy here who decides to let me go. Pretty nice, but we're going to skip on to the next lap now, going through the same corner. Tiny bit off track, and we get an instant penalty. An absolute instant penalty. But next lap, we go completely off track, and we don't get a penalty at all. But we're going to skip here, tiny bit off. We get an instant penalty. Maybe that's because we accumulated already some penalties before. Maybe that is the reason. But we're going to go through this corner once again. Miles off track. We don't even get an extension. But my real argument and just a real hard time understanding is that maybe it's because I had those penalties on the first lap that it just kind of builds up, and that's why I got an instant penalty. But on another lap, it didn't even say I was extending the track. Apparently that was absolutely fine. So sometimes when you're just slightly extending, it gives you a warning. When if you completely extend it and actually gain more of an advantage, it doesn't give you a warning or penalty at all. And that's the thing I'm really kind of really frustrating to me. And as I said, I just want to really hear what you think about that incident itself. And there's plenty more examples in this video, believe me, because we're at Brazil next after this, and excuse me, it's pretty crazy of what actually happens there. But now focusing on this race, had a really good time doing this. So if you really want to race me in these lobbies, which I had an amazing time doing 2 hours of this today, then make sure you send me a message on Xbox, which a lot of you did yesterday, and I'd invited as many as I could going into this. So I plan to do this maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but I really enjoy this. It's really fun just racing someone against cleanly but really hard at the same time. As you can see on this lap here, Mighty Den actually gave me he didn't give me the DRS. He got the DRS and me going down that main straight. We're kind of refusing to give each other DRS. So we're going to go around the outside here, trying to think about it going to here, but I have got those penalties, probably I think over 5 seconds or 9 seconds worth of penalties if you add them up in total. So saving all my ERS and fuel for this last straight. We've got Gouch Crab behind us, which is the IOR coordinator, trying to get a really good run going to here. I think he's made a mistake behind, so we've got no pressure from behind now. Thinking about going to the left, but he actually covers the inside quite nicely. But now he's left kind of a little gap, just rescuing the car, that snap of oversteer there. Thinking about the inside outside, we're going to let him have this corner, let him running a bit deep. I was really going for the switchback here, but he actually defends it pretty nicely. And we get DRS, but it's not going to be enough, and he wins the race, and he would have won it anyway because I had quite a few seconds of penalty. So that was some really good racing. But now we're moving on to Brazil now, and this race, I just have really no words. And again, I really want you to pay attention to some of the incidents that happened here. Do you think it's fair that some penalties were dished out? And I just want to know really what you think, and again with your experiences. So again, a pretty good start here, starting P15 on this 20-man grid, trying to navigate through this first turn as clean as possible, but as always, it's got to be a little bit kinder. We've just been absolutely slapped round by that Renault there. I don't think it's really his fault or my fault as well. It was just so many cars on his inside. He probably couldn't see me because the indicator to the right kind of gets blocked by the MFD as well. So I don't really blame him for that. No penalties or anything at all, so there's no real issue at this point. Just got to try and catch up to the rest of the pack. And now we're in P19 out of 20. So just having fun in these. Strict rules are turned on, obviously, as well. But no damage, of course, because that would just be absolutely chaos. Some cars are parked on the beach there, so it's like going for the M25 through there. There's a Haas in the wall, clone troop in the wall, so he's not having a good time at all. But we've made up some positions now. We're back into P14, an absolute cluster of cars going through it. So go try and go around the outside, try and sneak around the outside, managing to get one. But the Force India Foxy dude still manages to just about come through. Trying to get really good exits here now. We've got plenty of fuel and the ERS left as well. So going to hot lap, and then into overtake. Lifting off the throttle just slightly because you just don't want to spin that car around because there's a little bit of risk of desync. So go just try and slip through the inside of both of these two cars, and this should be a pretty comfortable, nice move into this. DRC Jared is going so slow on the apex, and I can confirm that he's not actually driving. He's actually stuck in spectator mode as we've been forced off the track, exceeded track limits, and illegal overtake because he's not even in control of his car, confirmed to me. And that penalty there, I have absolutely no issue with. I went off the track. He didn't really push me or anything at all. That's really a deserved penalty in my opinion, and I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is sometimes when you actually get pushed off, it's a little bit unfair because there's absolutely nothing you can do and you still get an illegal overtake. I think hopefully, well, it would be nice if they could find a way that maybe it could sense that you've been pushed off by another car at a particular force and angle, and then it just wouldn't really dish out a penalty, because I think sometimes it's unfair. So the McLaren ahead of us has taken the 2011 line coming off this last corner as Dragon Process the fastest up of the race. Go and nip on the inside of him here. Luckily he's not going to turn into me too much, and we're in the points now. We're actually in P8 in this race, so far nothing really too much to complain about as the Haas just goes absolutely straight on, trying to just avoid it, but we actually go straight into the side of him. And yeah, that was my fault as we just been hit, just been obliterated by that Force India, and we just get a penalty for being smashed by him. And I think I should have got a penalty. I should have got a penalty from the Haas, but on that instant there, I actually just got hit by the Force India. There's nothing I could do. So I just really want to hear what you think on that incident. Do you think that was fair? Because there's literally nothing I could do. I couldn't go invisible or anything at all. I couldn't ghost, because the ghosting system as well, I think, needs to definitely be looked at a little bit. There's absolutely nothing I could do there. So getting a penalty for that, I think, is pretty harsh. Pretty much kicking me while I'm down going into there. But now we're behind VSR Syra. Hopefully I pronounced your name right this time. And we're just going to try and get back into the points this race, but get another extended track limits. But I don't know if I was off track there. There's something I couldn't quite see with my naked eye. Probably was, maybe ever so slightly. But again, it just leads back to, I think it's just a little bit inconsistent, this penalty system. I think sometimes you could go completely off the track, it doesn't give you a warning, and then on the same corner, if you go slightly, it just won't do anything at all. But now we're trying to get through this turn one without being hit again. Try to leave a little bit of room. We actually go off track there, and I believe we overtook someone off track, but we didn't get an illegal overtake. So again, I think that's just another little example on no extended track limits there as well. We're coming through here, we managed to get some cars, and we're back into the points in P10. Coming around this flat out left corner, and there's a Mercedes there, and we just hit him. He didn't even ghost, and we just get a penalty instantly there. And now we've just completely smashed around once again, and we get another penalty. And again, we've been hit once again and again by DRC Jared, and we just get disqualified for being hit around 3 times. Which just leaves me with absolutely no words. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you next time. Peace.